Welcome back. Thank you for joining me again. Greyboard Gamer here with turn number 2 of Eldritch Horror. I'm going to leave Norman Withers over here as my lead investigator, and he's kind of stranded up here in Greenland. He has nowhere else he can go, so we need to bring him back into play. So for his first action, we'll move him to Arkham. And we'll leave him there and not use, well actually, I'm going to use, at the end of his move, I'm going to spend his ship ticket to move him to London, because there's a chance we can spawn more clues there. And since we need clues to solve our mystery, and there are no clues on the board, we need to get some more out there. So that'll take care of his action. Or does it? Does spending a ticket... No, it does not. So let me check this to make sure. For my second action, and I checked, and using the tickets does not cost more actions. I'm going to spend 2 clues to discard 1 monster on a space containing a gate. Now, Norman has 1 clue, and I need to spend 2. Well, he has this ability that once per round you may spend 1 sanity in place of spending 1 clue. So for my second clue, I will spend 1 of Norman's sanity, and that'll give me 2 clues. He's down to 6 insanity now, and I'm going to remove this star spawn that's on this gate, because these are nasty and are not easy to deal with. So we definitely want to take advantage of the situation, remove this star spawn from the gate, and it'll go back into the creature bag. And that clue token also gets spent. And that will end Norman's turn. Or not his turn, but his action phase. For Akachi, she's down here in the Arctic Ocean. I want to get her close to this expedition marker, because sometimes you can get really good results from, or artifacts from, the expedition. So for her first action, I'll move her 1 space to this city space, and for her second action I'm going to use her card. Look at the top 2 gates in the gate stack, put 1 gate on top of the gate stack and the other on the bottom. Let's see what our top 2 gates are. We have a red gate in Shanghai and a blue gate for Tokyo. Now coming up on the Omen track next is the red gate. We already have 1 blue gate out on the board. So I'm going to take the blue gate, put it back on top, take the red, put it back on the bottom. I know that I'm risking having 2 blue gates out, but I'm going to try and close this gate in Buenos Aires, and if the other one opens up before that Omen track gets back around to the blue. So that'll take care of Akachi's action phase for this turn. For Jim Culver here in San Francisco, we want to start moving him towards this gate down here. But I think I can get him there in 1 turn. Yes, what I'll do is, while in San Francisco, I'm going to prepare to travel. Get Jim a ship ticket. He already has a train ticket. And you can only have 2 tickets of either type. You can both be the same or 2 different ones, but you can only have 2 total. And for his second action, I'll have him move 1 space, spend his ship ticket, to get him into Buenos Aires, where that gate is. Jim has completed his action phase. Now we have Mark. He's in Istanbul. I don't have anything specifically that I need him to go chase right now. There's no clues out on the board. Jim's going to try this gate. Akachi's heading towards the expedition. Norman is going to try and spawn more clues. We can leave Mark in Istanbul to try and improve his influence. First, I'll have him rest, which will allow him to gain one of his health back that we lost when we kept his .38 revolver and kerosene for future encounters. And for his second action, I will have him test influence. He has an influence of 2. See if we get lucky and can gain some of these items from the reserve. Mark has an influence of 2. Let's see if we can get lucky. And he has 1 success. With his 1 success, there's nothing in the reserve that he can purchase. Everything is at least 2. And I don't think I want to take a debt condition to get 2 more just to get a puzzle box. Because with the puzzle box, he would have to test observation, and his observation's only 2. So his chances of succeeding at this are slim to none. I mean, there's a small chance, but it's not worth it. And I don't see anything here that's worth taking on debt condition for, so we'll just chalk that one up to bad luck. Everyone's action phase is complete for this turn. So we'll go to our lead investigator, Norman, and we're going to draw an orange encounter card. This is the first time we've used this stack, so I'll shuffle it. Draw a card for Norman in London. Let's see what happens. At the lecture of a noted archaeologist, he reveals startling information. Spawn 2 clues. Well, that's exactly what we were trying to do. Let's get some more clues out on the board. So our first one will be in space 11, close to Akachi and Jim. And our second clue will be in London, right where Mr. Withers is at. That worked out pretty good. Let's read the rest of this encounter. During the presentation, a stranger tries to sneak a scarab into your pocket. So Norman is going to have to test this observation. Norman has an observation of 3. And we have 1 success. We have succeeded, and it is inscribed with the words, "Cursed be he who moves my body. To him shall come fire, water, and pestilence. If you fail, which we did not." That was a successful encounter. We got to spawn 2 clue 2. I'm having a difficult time talking apparently. We were able to successfully spawn 2 clue tokens, both of them either at or close to a player. So that was a successful turn, and nothing bad happened to Norman. Now Akachi is down here on a city space. Now, this is our first time using the generic city deck. Give it a shuffle. Draw. And see what her encounter is in the city. Corrupt members of the police force pressure you for a bribe. You speak to some people you know to take care of the problem. So I'm going to need to do an influence test with Akachi. Akachi's current influence is 2, and she doesn't have any modifiers to improve that. And we have a 6. That is a success. If you pass, which we did, the police are apologetic and share their leads with you. Spawn 1 clue. Well, I didn't expect that encounter to spawn a clue, but we will definitely take that. I am really getting lucky. The dice are with me this game so far. And we have 5 over in America is where this clue will spawn. Space 5. No one's nearby right now, but we might be able to get to it later. Jim Culver's here in Buenos Aires. He's going to attempt to close that gate. A gate that leads to the Great Hall of Salino. You're stunned to see a familiar face reading through tomes of dark sorcery. You try to catch a glimpse of what he's reading without alerting him to your presence. So we need to do an observation test, -1. Jim only has an observation of 2, so we're at a disadvantage for this check. Jim's definitely going to have to get lucky here with a observation of only 2 and having to subtract 1 die. We're down to 1. Come on, Jim. Oh, success! Way to go, Jim. You learn what he's been reading and realize that he has opened a portal between worlds. Close this gate. Nice. So we got that blue gate closed off, taken care of. Afterward, you examine the book that he was reading. So Jim's going to have to do a lore check, which he currently has a lore of 3. Can Jim keep that good luck going? Can he? Oh, that's off the board. And he can! With a 5 and another success for Jim. If you pass, gain 1 clue or 1 spell. Jim did a great job there. We can gain a clue or a spell. I will go with a clue. Clues are very important currency, although I can't put this one on the mystery because I didn't gain it from a research action. I will go ahead and take a clue in lieu of a spell for Jim Culver. Mark Harrigan's in Istanbul for his encounter. You suspect that you're being followed. You use a reflective window to watch the people walking behind you. So Mark's going to use his observation of 2 to see if he can figure out what's going on. Will Mark keep this lucky streak going? With an observation of 2, he does. A success. If you pass, you spot someone stalking you and escape into a mosque. And the imam there prays for your safety. Gain a blessed condition. Well, that worked out pretty good too. Let's get a blessed condition. There's the first one that shows up. Mark has a blessed condition, and now 4s are also successes for him. Another great turn for our investigators. And another great set of encounters that didn't result in anything negative for anybody. Time to take our punishment. First we need to move the omen track. The omen track will move to the red gate symbol. The omen track has moved on to the red symbol. There are no red gates or any gates out right now that correspond to that symbol. So the doom track stays where it's at for now. Next we have a monster surge, which means every gate that has the current omen track, which is the red, would surge, and during a monster surge in a 4-player game, 2 monsters would appear at each of those red gates. We don't have a red gate out, and we do not have any gates out. So since we do not have any gates out, we have to spawn... since we do not have a gate that corresponds to the red symbol, we have to spawn a gate. And we put this one on here. It's going to go to Tokyo. Gate spawns in Tokyo, and it comes with its own built-in monster. Draw it from the bag, and we will get a dropped monster. The Hound of Tyndalos, and he does have a reckoning symbol that we may have to deal with. So the Hound starts off in Tokyo. And then our last symbol is the clue symbol. We get to spawn clues. And in a 4-player game, we spawn 2 clues. So we wanted to get more clues out on the board. Now we're getting more clues out on the board. This is a 7 over here in Central America. And we have 10 over here on the coast of Africa. Those clues have been spawned. Let's see what's going to happen to us. In one night, the whole monstrous undertaking has disappeared. Every occult sigil that has been sanded from the wall and painted over. Every name on your list has been moved to a new city without notice. You would like to believe that you managed to drive them out, but you fear that it signifies something worse. The dark goal they've been pursuing is now accomplished. That which consumes. Investigators as a group choose one gate on the game board and discard it. If the discarded gate does not correspond to the current omen, advance doom by 1. Well, we have the gate over in Tokyo. We can choose one gate on the game board and discard it. It doesn't say may or would like to. We have to choose one gate on the game board and discard it. And there is only one gate on the board, and that is in Tokyo. Tokyo will get discarded. Tokyo is a blue gate. And the card states, if the discarded gate does not correspond to the current omen, advance doom by 1. The current omen track is red, so we must advance the doom by 1. We're moving from 15 to 14 on the doom track. All in all, that was not a very devastating Mythos phase. Another great turn. I just have this sneaking suspicion that this is building up towards something really bad happening to us really soon. Tune in to the next one, turn number 3, to see if our luck changes. Thank you. Hope to see you then.